Hey guys, and welcome to my patch notes review for the Moonwing Rises edition. This patch brings the new Moonwing Dragon as well as a couple features this week only, so make sure you get these done for this week. But starting out with the Moonwing Dragon, out with the Ancient, in with the Moonwing, a dragon designed by Fried Sushi. I personally, I'm not too big of a fan of this dragon, but you know, they can't all be in my style, so it kind of looks like a butterfly mixed with a dragon, so it's kind of like a dragonfly, people call it. But that is the new dragon this week. Let's see if we can see if anybody's on it. That's Ancient. I doubt anyone's gonna be on it since the patch just came out. But we can look in the collections at it. If you go Legendary Dragon, you can see it is, where is it? Siluria the Enchanting. That is the Moonwing one for 100 Moonwing souls. So it looks like they didn't change up the soul count. They're keeping it. Actually, they did. So they went from 30 from the Azulian to 90 for the past two, and now they switched it up to 100. So let's actually check out the badges. I want to make sure I understand fully. Alright, so they moved the Legendary Dragon as the end reward, and they put the badge that gives you the Radiant Aura as well as all of the buffs, you know, the health regen, jump, magic find. They moved that down to 75 for this dragon's tier, so I think that's actually how it should be. I think the Legendary Dragon should have been the end reward for all of them, and the previous one should have been how they did it with this one. So I like the badge progression. Wow, I'm messing up all my words. I like the badge progression with this this dragon, but I don't really like the style of the dragon. But I mean, it's just not my style, like I said. So Moonwing Dragon caches are now rewarded from completing challenges, as expected. Moonwing Dragon caches contain Flux, Dragon Coins, and Moonwing Dragon Souls. Again, kind of like the new Dragon caches. That's how they have been for the past couple weeks now. Moonwing Dragon Souls can be consumed to unlock Moonwing Dragon Ascension badges. We already viewed them, so it just tells you how to get to them. So you press Y and you go to the badges tab in your collections. So Chaos Week. Each Chaos Factor grants 2 daily Chaos chests for this week. You can view your Chaos Factor by selecting stats in the character sheet. I showed you guys that last week, I think it was, or maybe the week before. But if you click stats, you can see I have 1 Chaos Factor because I have it only from Mastery rank. I've never won one or bought one. So I have 1, but it will grant me for this week only 2 Chaos chests. I opened up my Chaos chests in the last episode, so these are the 2 that I got from logging in today. Squeakers, the Flying Squirrel, is back. Catch him in a chest while you can. So he is a limited edition mount. You can now get him again. The Santa Barbarian costume is in the Chaos chest this week. Get Festive, so that's another unique thing that you can get this week. Chaos chests now have eyes at common, and are more likely to result in eyes at uncommon. So they're kind of buffing the eye drop, I guess, because they're trying to make Radiant gear a little bit easier to get, since pentas are actually harder to get now. So it's kind of like, it's kind of trying to find a balance or something. I honestly don't know, that's just my guess. So Adventure Week. This I do not agree with. This, I mean, in my opinion, because I have played this game for a year, and this kind of shows that Trove just recycles their content every single week. Like, it's getting a little ridiculous now in my opinion, but yeah, they literally just they took everything in the adventure box tab, and now everyone can get it. So the whole point of the adventure boxes when they first came out was that if you logged in 8 months ago, you know, there's not many players, there's only about 2,000 players in the entire game that have these cookie fence from 8 months ago. I'm being one of them because I played for that long ago. That was the whole point of them. They're supposed to be, you know, if you weren't playing at that time, then, you know, you weren't playing at the time. You don't get these limited edition mounts. But for some reason, for this week, they tripled the drop rate of adventure boxes, and you get all of them. So the only ones that I missed was the commies. I didn't get the other dragon pup either, but I didn't really care for that one. But the only ones that I have missed are the commies. Because I didn't play for that month. Or the 2 weeks, whatever. But I have all the others, and these kind of don't mean anything anymore. That's what, like the Bellfire Phoenix, I know I have probably 100 plus comments of people asking for them. For the new players, this is, you know, this is great for you guys, because you guys wanted this Bellfire Phoenix since you've seen my videos months ago, because this mount was available like 6 months ago, and that's why I felt special with it, because everybody wants it, but they can't get it because it was limited edition, and now they can. So I mean, it's just, you'll hear probably every old player say this, or maybe I'm taking it too personally, but yeah, I feel like they kind of went back on their word about these chests, and at the same time, they just literally recycled their content from the past 8 months into 1 week. So yeah, I don't agree with this, but it is my opinion. There's more new players than there are old players. I understand that, so that's why they did this. So you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys are happy you can get your hands on the Phoenixes, and I guess Cookie Fence were kind of requested. Nobody really cared about the Budgies or the Bouncers, but yeah, any old player most likely will not agree with this if you care about the progression of the game. But that's just my opinion. Summer's end. Summer is coming to a close, and summer pinatas are all set to migrate to the southern hemisphere. For this week only, summer pinatas are 50% off. Get them now, because next week they'll be gone. It's kind of like it's a little cash grab, but you can't blame them, because they won't come back for another year. But moving on. Patron Pass. Patron Pass now grants 4 chaos factor, up from 2. So if you are a patron, you pay the $30 a month, I think it is, because it's 30 for 15 days, something like that. I think I just confused myself. Okay, so it's $8 for 15 days, $15 for 30 days, or the 3,000 cubits, which is equal to $15 for the tradable one. If you are a patron, you can see now 50% experience boost and the new 4 chaos factor, as well as all the old stuff. So yep, that is Patron Pass. Shadow Tower. Killing Shadow Titans now spawn chests, which drop rare items and trophies. Again, I just logged on, so I don't know what these rare items are, because when you say rare item, it's usually talking about like, let's see, if rare mounts, stuff like that, rare allies, which are these guys, the shadow ones. I don't know the drop tables, so I can't tell you exactly what drops, but I guess it's rare items. Shadow Cache now reward an additional eye on average most of the time. That's literally, I don't know if anyone's even gonna notice. It's saying 1 additional eye on top of the 3 that you get for common, and I guess you get 51 for uncommons now. I don't know. That seems a little underwhelming for an update. The eye tome now grants 15 eyes, up from 10. I'll have to calculate to see if that makes it up for the Robo, like compares to Robo, but still, the eye tome was very low in flux per item. It used to be Robo Salvage Tome was the first, and then below that was Mushroom Chunk, and then below that was the 100 flux, and the eye. The eye was worth about 100 flux as well. So now it's going to be about 115. I don't know the prices or anything, but I guess you guys can do the math on that one. The legendary one now grants 400, up from 300 now as well. If you guys know why they are buffing ice so much, well, they're not buffing it too much. I mean, you get 1 additional on average, but they're also doing it for the chaos chests as well. Let me know. I honestly don't know why they're trying to buff eyes a little bit. But now Shaper Vision boxes now grant 3,500 flux instead of the 3,000 flux. This still renders them useless. They do not compare to the other one, the 3 Titan Soul box. But I guess if you want to forego the, I don't know, you shouldn't get these vision boxes even with this little buff, because it doesn't compare. Leaderboards now show the same rank for players with identical items or identical times. So I guess we can go look at that if anyone has done it this week. Let's see. I can also show you the new thing as well. Okay, so here we go. So Fault and Best Bay NA, they are both 4 because they have the exact same time. Same with P.E.K.K.A. and Burning Rage. They are both 6. There's 4 8s, 4 12s, and it goes on and on and on. So they're allowing people to share a rank if they did get the same time. It makes sense. It's only fair, I guess. And also, the highest level boss available is now selected by default in the Shadow Tower UI. Okay, so what that means is, if I progressed all the way up to Daughter of the Moon, but I did not defeat her. When I exit out of this from before the patch, and I went back, it would automatically select Spikewalker even if he had an X over him, because he is the lowest in the tier, and that's what it was previously, how it was selected. But now, say I'm progressed to Daughter of the Moon, I exit the UI, I go back, Daughter of the Moon will automatically be selected. Right now, obviously, it's Spikewalker only because I just logged in, and I haven't done any Shadow Towers yet, but that's basically what it means if you guys understand what I was explaining. Trades. This is a good update. Not for the general player, but for people that get scammed a lot, I guess. Trading now uses a two-step confirmation system to prevent trade scams. I don't have anyone to trade with right now, but I'll just read over the update. Once your items are placed in the trading window, you need to lock in your trade. Okay, so before I read these, I already read them over. If you guys played RuneScape, this is literally the RuneScape trading system. It's a good one for scammers, to prevent scamming, I mean. And also, you know, just mistakes. People might mistype, you know, 300 flux instead of 3000 flux. So this is going to prevent all that, you know, bad stuff from trading if you weren't paying enough attention in the first place. This is kind of to make you pay attention even more when you're trading. So once your items are placed in the trading window, you need to lock them in. Like I said, that means you have like a 2-time accepting window. Again, if you played RuneScape, it's the exact same thing. You accept the first time, and then you have to look over what the trade is going to look like once you press accept for the second time. So once both players have locked in their trade, they can expect each item to verify the trade is what they want before clicking accept. When both players have accepted, the trade will go through. Like I kind of said, if the player you are trading with changes their trade, then your accept is cancelled, and you will have to wait for them to lock in again before you can accept the new trade. So that means, again, referring to RuneScape, because this is I'm pretty sure they just grabbed this trading system. It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's a good idea. So basically, in RuneScape, if you took away an item after you press accept, it will flash red for the other player, and you can't press accept for another like 5 seconds because you just changed the item that was in the trade after you had pressed accept. So it's basically to prevent somebody from changing the trade right as you click accept, to prevent someone from, say, they put 5,000 flux in the trading window, and then right when you click accept, they take away the item, press accept real quick, and then you basically gave them your item, and they gave you nothing. So that prevents that. Again, good idea. I like how they are referring or taking ideas from other games. It's not always a bad idea to take ideas from other games by any means if they are doing it right. So miscellaneous added show player location option in settings. Miscellaneous, this will put coordinates above your compass, showing you where you are in the current world. So this is a frequently asked question in my fishing guide, because back in the day this was already on by default and then they removed it. So now if you press show player location, you can see the location is now above the compass. It used to be in the top left. However, they removed it for a while when they updated the UI to look like how it is now instead of the old blue UI. And now you can see your coordinates again. So, you know, the leftmost, is your location on the X-axis. The 63, you know, the middle one is your Y-axis. And then the far right is your Z-axis. So that basically means where you are in correlation to the horizon, I think it is. I think that's what Z is. I'm not 100% sure, but Z doesn't really matter too much. So if you refer to my fishing guide, you know how I would say you have to go -20 to get this fish, you have to go above 200 to get this fish, you have to be in between 20 and 200 to get this fish. Now you can, again, you could always type in /debug text, but now it's official, I guess. At least more official, and it looks a little nicer than debug text. They still haven't added the FPS, though, so you still have to use that debug text command if you want to see your FPS. So, I might have went a little too much into that one. I just like explaining to the fullest. Enemies spawned by the clone FX no longer get FXs themselves. This prevents invaders from exponentially spawning clones. I didn't notice this too much from Shadow Giants, which spawn from the sky. I do notice it from them, don't get me wrong, but I mostly noticed this in Shadow Towers. If a boss had the clone, it would just spawn a bunch of clones. and it gets a little out of hand, but I'm glad they fixed that. Reduced the lifetime of clones and other affix ads from 60 to 30 seconds. So what it means by affix ads is basically like the mushroom guys, the bees, the spiders, all those guys. They are reduced in half to be alive, I guess, if you can't kill them within a minute. Fixed bug where consuming an item in your inventory that is split into multiple stacks consumed one item from each stack. So I'm guessing that's to keep the stacks even. That's what I would expect that is for. And /ZZZ is now Zier. I'll have to get off my mount first. ZZZ. So now, instead of looking up, you look down. It didn't make sense that you look up to fall asleep. So now you kind of hunch over instead of, hunch backwards. So I guess it makes sense. Epic Pose now hides player names. So, is someone right here? Okay, so we'll go Epic Pose just to show. Okay, it didn't work. It's not working, but it's supposed to remove his name and bring up the Epic Pose UI. Epic Pose. There we go. Alright, so now you can see his name disappeared. It just wanted me to be on my mount to do this Epic Pose, I guess. So that is good. I always like that. I wish if you just typed in normal pose, it would hide their names, but I guess not. Crafting windows now update status after crafting to correctly show recipes based on skill level and or available resources. So what that means is if you are leveling up rune crafting, say you craft 50 of the standard recipe blocks, if you went into Dabbler, they would be blacked out or grayed out, whatever you want to call it, but you can still craft them. The UI just didn't update. It would say that you're still, 0 out of, or it would say skill 0, even if you were skill level 50, you would have to exit the UI and go back into it to see that you were level 50 and you can now craft these. Even though, again, you could have just known in your mind that you were level 50 and kept crafting, but I guess it's to make it more intuitive, which is good. Combat damage numbers are now on by default. You can turn them off the same way you could have turned them on before. So settings miscellaneous. That's good because a lot of people were asking me in the comments, how do you get numbers above your heads? I guess not everybody watches the Patron videos, so nobody was knowing how to do that from the patch a while ago. But now they're on by default, which I think is a better idea because you should have them on no matter what anyways. Players with the Lunar Lancer unlocked will now unlock their starter weapon style. So if you missed out on, if you accidentally dropped your starting weapon when you have the Lunar Lancer, instead of deconstructing it for the style, you'll now get the style if you made that mistake. And you don't have to worry about that mistake ever again because it's going to be on by default. Added to settings the option to invert camera from controllers. So basically, controllers, the joysticks, if you press down on the right joystick, it'll look up. If you press up, it'll look down, kind of like the normal controller a little bit in certain types of games. Fixed bug where enemy health bars were sometimes blue. This happens to me a lot. You probably noticed it the past week in my Let's Play videos. I don't know why it was happening, but hopefully they fixed it. Because it gets a little confusing when your minion has a red health bar and everything else has a blue health bar. So now moving on to Mac. So I don't have a Mac, so I can't comment on any of these changes, but I will still go over them for you guys. So the Trove Store account management button now directs your browser to account management on Mac. So if you go to the store, I'm guessing that store is actually online. I don't know how you get to the account management. I'm not gonna press that just in case because I do have my credit card on here. But that might be online only. I don't know if you click payment method, you can go to account management from there. But basically, it just takes you to account management like it should. Fix Shadow Tower leaderboard sometimes not populating on Mac. Command tab. So I don't know what that means. Command tab now minimizes Trove when full screen to give access to desktop. So is that like Alt tab but for Mac? Honestly, I don't own a Mac, so I don't know their keyboard layout. But that's what I think that means. Disabled fallback to software rendering on Mac clients when using featured on... Okay, so that's basically what they said last week. If you are new, Tryon does not update their game when they say they do. Just get used to it now. They'll say they do something, and then next week they'll say, okay, we really did this. And then 3 weeks later, they'll be like, okay, now it's actually fixed. So just get used to that. It's an ongoing thing since Trove has came out, as well as Rift. It happened in Rift as well. But that's pretty much it. I know it was kind of a bigger patch, and I tried going a little bit more in depth. I've been getting a lot of requests for me to, go as much in depth as I can into a certain update, so everyone knows how the update is affecting the game, I guess. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, if you guys need help with anything and you want me to make a guide about it, leave it in the comments below. Also, if we get 25 likes on these videos, it lets me know that you guys enjoy them. And I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and if that outro sounded kind of bad, I'm a little sick, so hopefully next video it'll be gone. But again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Wanted to throw that out there.